Hello, Exiles! This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to another Path of Exile video. In today's video, I'm going to go over my Dreamfeather Raider, currently using Frostblades, but I may change it. I've used Impale Cyclone, I might use like Wild Strike or an Elemental Hit. There's a lot of different options. I might even try Molten Strike, since that's a skill I haven't used in a long time. But I probably won't be using Dreamfeather much longer. I'm going to see if I can scale it further because there's a lot of damage scaling I can do, but currently my DPS tops out pretty low. It's like 200k with all of my buffs up, which obviously isn't super good for like single target and everything. It's fine for clear up through yellow maps so far, but yeah, currently not doing so hot otherwise. So what I have going on for me defensively, at least, is as a baseline, I have a little over 22,000 evasion. With my flasks up, it goes up to 41,000, and with all of my buffs up, because I get a bunch of evasion through this node here and Avatar of the Slaughter, I get a bunch of evasion just from having frenzy charges up, and I have 6 currently, hopefully soon to be 7 with an anoint frenzy charges. So I actually end up with like 88,000 evasion, which is pretty solid. And then I also get 5% of my evasion as armor because of the mastery here from Graceful Assault. So the armor and evasion mastery, that's going to be pretty good. I hope to scale up my evasion at least to like 120,000, possibly more in the near future, but at the moment kind of caps out at 88,000, which isn't too bad. I also have a lot more damage I'm going to pick up, and then life as well. So I have a lot to scale. I'm level 87, which is close to where I'm kind of maxed out on skill points, but besides, obviously, I am going to get at least a few more levels. I have a couple of kind of redundant skill points that I can make up for with gear, like Primal Spirit. When I get some better gear, I can spec out of these 2 points, and that'll help me a lot. And then I also won't need Acuity either. I also have 100% chance to, or 100% spell suppression, and that is helped with Inveterate, which gives me another 3% of suppressed spell damage. So I currently, all the time, take 53% less damage from spell damage, which is huge because of my low life pool. I also take less damage from attacks because of Wind Dancer. And I get hit very infrequently because I have 50% block, along with, I think I get up into like 88% chance to evade attacks, which is like 1 in 8 attacks or so hit me, a little less than 1 in 8. And then half of those are going to be blocked. So it's probably somewhere around 1 in 12 attacks hit me or so. I think the math works out on that, as well as 42% spell block. I achieve a lot of the block by using Versatile Combatant, and then I use a lot of the block dual wielding stuff, like from Brutal Blade, we get some in weapon artistry. There's this node here, Swagger. There's Blade Barrier. So lots and lots of dual wielding block that you can get, along with Masteries, like 15% chance to block attack damage if you've not blocked recently. Since we're evading a lot, we're not blocking all that much. I think that's how it works. Hopefully it doesn't go the opposite way, because that could be a little bit more difficult. But against bosses where you're kind of dodging all the mechanics anyway, I should still have the 42% spell block, which is huge. It'll be against regular mobs, it's not as important, although a lot of the damage that comes from Scourge comes from spell damage, so that's something to keep in mind. Other notable masteries, I'm converting 40% of physical damage to cold using Cold Mastery with Winter Spirit, and I have Hatred, so I get full scaling off that. I am using Grace as well, of course. And then I'm also getting Grace reduced mana reservation through the Freedom of Movement, which gives me a bunch of evasion rating while phasing, and I am always phasing. As far as my Ascendancies, I got Avatar of the Slaughter, went up through both of these, and Avatar of the Veil. I do achieve permanent onslaught uptime using Rotgut. It is down sometimes during boss fights, but because of the long duration and I can use it twice, I'm still going to have it for, even if there are no ads, I'm still going to have it for 20 0.4 seconds of the boss fight, which isn't too bad. And if there are ads, I'll still have it up permanently, so that's pretty good. Outside of that, I think I'm also getting increased attack damage per 5% chance to block attack damage, which gives me 30% attack damage there. I got my one frenzy charge. Unfortunately, my last frenzy charge is kind of out of reach, so I am going to have to anoint this. I don't have any silver oils yet. I'll probably just buy some. I'm going to try to farm some up on my other character, on my Essence Drainer, doing blight maps, because this character isn't fantastic for blight maps, but the Essence, or the Soul Rend, sorry, not Essence Drain. My Soul Rend character is very good at blight maps, so I'll probably do some blight maps. Try to get some silver oils. If I fail to do so, then I'll just buy them. That's fine. No big deal. But yeah, that's my last frenzy charge. Plus, I hope to get like a corruption on gloves with a frenzy charge, and that'll be a little bit easier if I can get some of my resistances elsewhere, because I'm lacking a little bit in resistances. Not in all of them. I have plenty of, more than I need of lightning resist, which this gives. So I might just need to make up a little bit more cold resist somewhere else in order to make that happen, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. And maybe I'll get like a frenzy charge Oscarm or something. So 8 frenzy charges would be the ideal. That would give me a considerable more amount of damage than having 6 does, of course, along with more attack speed and everything. So yeah, it's just life, block, spell suppression, and then crit and crit damage from like the sword stuff. And gonna be getting more crit damage. I just wanted to path through to the big node here, but I'm gonna get these crit damage nodes here, and I may get the 25% to crit strike multi against unique enemies, since that is where I struggle the most. But I'll probably get these 2 nodes first, because I'm still struggling a little bit against damage against rares. So I'm just gonna do a quick little conqueror here. I'm just going to do it white. I'm not going to roll it or anything. It's only tier 8. I didn't just get to maps, but I just started doing my like higher yellows, lower reds on this character after switching off my Essence Drainer, or Soul Rend. I keep calling it Essence Drain. I got it on my Soul Rend character. So yeah, the gameplay is you build up some frenzy charges, you press Rot Gut, and then you just charge on through. Currently, with all of my frenzy charges up, I have 148% movement speed, which is pretty nice. And then with my buffs up, currently I have 74,000 evasion, but it does go up to 88 when I get hit because of Wind Dancer. And 88,000 is very considerable for both my DPS. Yeah, and then I just swap into the Krangleverse here, and it's not too bad. It's not a bad setup. It's a pretty quick character, but it is lacking a little bit in damage. I'm probably not going to be able to do red maps without making a considerable investment. I am going to have a 6-link Queen of the Forest. I'm going to get some Tainted Fusing Orbs. I already have my tier 3 kind of, it doesn't have really negative or positive Queen of the Forest, so it's kind of a neutral Queen of the Forest. I didn't manage, like, the downside doesn't hurt my build, but the upside doesn't help my build either. So it ended up being one of those, which is fine, but it's 5-link. I'll have a 50-50 chance with 1 Tainted Fusing. If not, I'll do the normal method for getting a 6-link with the Tainted Fusings that I talked about in previous video. But basically, it's very simple to get a 6-link these days using that method. And there are plenty of videos out there. I'm not going to talk about it in my build update video. But yeah, as you can see, I attack quite fast. I clear quite good. I forgot. I do have a Tribal Fury, which helps with my clear considerably, because it means I'm hitting a second thing, which sends more projectiles out. Or I'm hitting a second enemy, which sends more projectiles out, which clears packs very quickly. Normally you'd have like a Herald of Ice in this kind of build as well, but I really wanted to make sure I had both Hatred and Grace, and I don't really think there's a way for me to get the proper amount of mana reservation efficiency to fit in a Herald of Ice, unfortunately, with this build. It'd be nice though to have the extra clear from the freeze explosions and whatnot. And also to have the additional flat damage, which is something I am lacking. I'm leveling up and added cold damage, but from my testing so far, the cold penetration feels much better, and so does Ice Bite, and Ice Bite will scale even further when I have more Frenzy charges. Okay, so here's the regular boss. I probably shouldn't waste both of my charges of my... I'm using Vol Ancestral War Chief, which helps with single target. Another thing I should be using, but I'm not, is... oh, a Divine, nice. Eee. Yeah, I should clear out the room for this real quick since I'm full up. There you go. I got distracted. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I should also be using a, not Orb of Storms. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but the little ball that I can hit off of. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's a skill. It's a... I can't remember the name of things these days. Not Frozen Orb, but yeah. There's a couple of different ways I can increase my single target DPS considerably, because it'll hit nearby enemies, and the skill that I'm thinking of that I can't remember the name of, and that's going to bother me. Frozen Orb? Nope. Winter Orb? Nope, not that. It's an orb. Some sort of orb. Okay, so yeah, you can see single target is lacking. I need to work on that big time. Cannot regenerate energy shield. Well, that's not too bad. I'm gonna crangle it to 3 though. I have a duration helmet with like high life and a couple of resistances. It's +2 to socketed duration gems. I'm gonna try to get a tier 3 crangle that gives it something else spicy, and maybe I'll have a fancy helmet. I think that's the best way to do the whole Scourge mechanic, just generally speaking. I should probably pop down a couple of these. Oh, and when he's going to use his big attack, always run into a corner. That's the key to Baran. When you see him charging up his thing where he's going to drop down his squares on the floor, run to a corner, and he will proceed to just make it so that the center is all clear for you. So he's going to do it now. I just run over here, and boom. See? Now you have a big open arena. That's one thing about fighting Baran that I learned last league, that I'm not always the best at paying attention to boss mechanics. Oops. Okay, not that one. Okay, there he is. He's charging it up. You walk into a corner. He shoots out his squares. Boom. Now I don't have to worry about, you know, weird squares in the middle and everything. So I hope that helped somebody, because that's something that's been tremendously useful for fighting Baran for me. Yeah, and if this is a level 8 Conqueror and it takes me this long, I didn't do it that time, but he's almost dead, so it shouldn't be an issue. I say before I get a slam one shot. That'd be that would have been a funny way to end up. Yeah, we'll deal with the Watchstones later. But yeah, that is pretty much the character. My current plans are to get my 6-link Queen of the Forest. It'll give me a lot of damage. It'll give me a lot of move speed. I should be at like 238% move speed or something like that when I have my Queen of the Forest on, which will be really nice. And then I also plan on potentially swapping to rare swords. I'm probably going to try switching back to Cyclone, see how it feels. And I may also try like Wild Strike or Elemental Hit. So hope you enjoyed. I know I was a little scatterbrained in certain parts of this video. I've just been playing a lot, plus I've been busy outside of my PoE life, so I apologize for that. But yeah, this has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.